Hello and welcome back to our podcast, Cuttin It, a podcast for barbers by barbers. Today we have Ricky joining us. Hello Ricky, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you.
All the way from West Brom.
Yeah.
How was the journey?
It is all right, yeah.
Well, welcome to Kings Lynn.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we want to talk to you about technical barbering and adapting to a new environment because you are new with us. So different to what you used to.
Yeah.
Let's start with the technical stuff. Well, from speaking to you, you do a lot of sharp stuff, razor stuff, line-ups, patterns, sharper haircuts and stuff like that. Would you consider yourself to be a technical barber?
Yeah, if that's what technical is, yeah, definitely.
What would you say is a technically challenging haircut, but also a really rewarding one?
The different levels of skin fading is what I'm kind of my forte. Whether it be high fade, low fade, mid fade, and now the new ones, taper fade, burst fade. So yeah, those are kind of rewarding to see how they come out. You know, giving someone what they've showed me, or we've talked about.
It's funny with the skin fades because I've been cutting hair 20 years nearly, and back in the early days, there was always, I think we called them a naught on the back and sides previously. I don't know if it's different for you.
Zero back and sides.
Zero back and sides,
yeah.
and that they were few and far between. Rarely done one. Just had some regular people who come in and had it done. You always think it was a bit odd. But then we had this big skin fade boom.
Yeah.
And then you really had to up your game.
Yeah, because
all we did.
Yeah.
Do you find the same thing with that?
Yeah, well, like you said, it was a boom, but I've been doing it years ago because with afro hair, that came in. I remember my cousin coming in home I was about 15, and he came in with a skin fade, and I was like, "What is that?" And he said to me, "Oh, this is skin back and sides." By the time I'm kind of couple of years after, skin fades were in afro hair was something that was being done regularly. Do you know what I mean? Alongside with the patterns and stuff like that.
So you were already a master.
I was getting there. I always say you can always learn and still learning, because you've had to learn to do burst fades and taper fades, even though they were called different things before. I think names as well have come in. Well, that style was already there, but it was named something else. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
And with the patterns and all of that sort of stuff, like how do you start doing stuff like that?
I think because of the demand, because like everyone wanted it at a certain point in barbering. Everyone wanted a pattern, create something. It was whenever weekly.
Do you think you have to have an artistic flair for that? Or do you learn how to do it? Because my concern, I mean, I've done it, but nothing to the level of yourself. But you get, once you're in, you've put a line in the hair. There's not much room for error there, is there?
There's not much room for error, no. But you see something, you can actually sometimes you work on it. You can even do a little Google, say, I'm going to try and put that in. And you can actually just think, right, I'm going to start. And when you get used to it, you just flow. You just write, I'm just going to flow. And especially if you say, yeah, just do me a pattern. That was before. Do you know what I mean? Nowadays, it's a bit different. But before, it was like, let's lose some of my hair.
Have you ever stepped back and thought?
And that one, but back in the day, I have, definitely. I was like, oh, I don't know about that one. But they loved it. But it was still, I was like, oh my gosh, you really, a pattern that said all over his head. I'm completely patterned. Do you know what I mean? So, and then you always look at your work sometimes, don't you, and think, oh, I could do better. Or I could have done that better. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I'll probably still tend to do that now.
And I think that's one of the things you sort of learn with our job is like there's never a perfect head of hair, or you can always do a bit better, but there's always room for improvements. But you also, I think you learn to, if something's not gone quite right, you can sort of change it and adapt it to make it work for.
Yeah, definitely. Even with patterns as well. You can start something and you had a vision of doing one thing and then it's turned into that. And you've gone, hold on, this looks good. Then you start improvising on what you've just done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's a pattern. It's up to you. If that's what they're saying, do me a pattern with no pictures included. They've just come with their raw, hair as it is. It's a lot different from a picture, actually. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Do
you so talk about skin fades and patterns. Are there any other haircuts that you would say are technical haircuts you enjoy doing more, or?
The new mullet was in Manchester a year ago, and that a year and a half ago, and the mullet was really taking off. So like the mullet haircut, it was something that it was easy for me to do as well because of the fade.
Yeah.
and then obviously scissors with at the back front. It was quite, yeah, I
And,
like that. I like that.
yeah, I do think that's a technical haircut, very technical. I think there's a lot of you see a lot of those styles that people do really badly wrong.
Yeah, and you get some that you can tell like, oh,
Yeah,
he could have done it that way, or he could have done it right. But then again, it's all preferences, isn't it? You know, if that customer wants it like that, because I've done haircuts like that, and you think, are you happy with that? Yes, this is exactly how I want it. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's them who are wearing it, so that's what you do for them, really. Then
yeah. And talking about environments,
yeah.
so working for us is fairly new,
Mm-hmm.
and the shop you working for us at West Brom is inside Tesco.
Yeah.
How does that compare? What was the challenges for you stepping into that environment?
The actual basis of haircutting, I'll step in anyway. I've been doing it too long, but it was a nice one off the in Tesco. The convenience of it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a good idea. I like the setup because I just knew straight away everybody's got to get food, everybody's got to get shopping. So whether they're coming or not, they know you're there. And from it's in the mind, you hear people are there. I've been seeing you for a month, and then they come in. So from like going past, which is we all know that's powerful. I thought, wow, that that's a good idea for to be in with so much footfall going in and out, which most people, everybody has to go and eat food, so it's a place where everybody has to go, all nations. So yeah, that alone was the only difference to me, the location of where it was, but the actual barbershop, family and orientated. That's where I started my career really as a barber. It's definitely family orientated because before there wasn't as much barbershops. So you'd get moms, well, not say moms back in the day, it was more dads bringing in their sons and then their granddads bringing in grandsons and grandkids. So I grew up in that sort of atmosphere where you had to know we can make a joke with the kids, can make a joke with the middle, and teenager, and then the elder. You can make a joke with him, but it's a different sort of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, sort of different levels.
I think that's one of the things I like about because I've worked in your sort of high street barbershops and all different places as well,
Mhm.
is that you do like you say, you get every type of person going in them.
Yeah, yeah,
And I think from a skill set point of view,
mm,
you get to do a bit of everything.
yeah,
And I think some barbershops cater, I think, a little bit too much or seem to,
yeah,
or yeah, it's catered a little bit to certain types of styles and things like that. You know, a lot of the newer shops are very much seem like a skin fade barbershop or something like that. And I think that is the one thing for me. I think you get every type of person and hairstyle and stuff like that.
yeah. Definitely there. Because where I just came from, again from Manchester, I didn't see any kids. So to come here now and see so much kids was like, this is how I started. And I always say kids are a lifetime, could be a lifetime customer.
100%.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So obviously it's very important to have these kids in there. Do you know what I mean? Because I've had children that I've been cutting from now and they're still there with me now. Seen them go through college, uni, come back out, have kids, get married. Been
I think this is something we'll
so
talk
yeah.
about a fair bit, to be honest, because with the children, there's so many barbers you hear that don't want to do the kids. They can't, they've got no patience and stuff like that. But it's not a long time between them being really difficult in the chair to
Mhm.
being absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
It's just putting that effort in to do that. And like you say, you've all you're doing is securing a customer for life. And I think now the easiest group of customers to secure in your own bank really,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
they really just bind and they'll never go anywhere else once they've
Yeah, if you've got them and they haven't been forced and they're friends, you've got other sections where, they get older and there's a group of friends who might be going somewhere. But usually if you've give them a good haircut, they've been there for life. When the kids come in and they might be a bit fun, I'll put a pad down, I do. I've got a pad. I'll give them, what do you want to watch? Because I know we both want the same thing here. You want to be out as quick as you can. And we want to get you done as quick as you can.
yeah.
So we're both on the same goal. So we've got to tap in. There's your little whatever you want to watch. And whilst you've watched that, I've cut your hair. You know what I mean? He's staying still as he's gold. So I think, like I said, it's just definite techniques for different age groups, different
I think
engagements.
them really difficult ones, we've all done them. Do you think they help your skill set and your ability to do more technical barbering? Is there is there a good thing there with that? Is
The
it
children.
yeah, well,
I think.
I mean, not necessarily just children, just
Oh,
those difficult when they move, like,
oh,
move
okay.
around or, like, irritating and stuff like that.
I think again that's an experience thing because they move around still, but I can still cut the hair when I move around, whether it be to the side, to the they're just gonna ask their question. You can kind of, oh no, they're gonna move now. Do you know what I mean? So you get that over experience. So if you're not yeah, if you're not in tune with them, if you've got kids yourself, I've got 3 boys, so me cutting them is no different to cutting them. They still were being moving around, didn't want a haircut at the time they're supposed to get the haircuts. Do you know what I mean? Even though you're a barber, you think they would wanna, "Oh, I don't want my haircut." No, it's exactly the same as them. Taking them off the PlayStation, "Come on, time to get a haircut." So I get what you're upset about. You just want it got done quickly and get out. Do you know what I mean? Even though it's not, it's just where they are. I don't think they give you, and another thing, you gotta be quite quick as well because they're giving you 20 minutes maximum to 15 minutes, should I say, and then they're gonna, "Let me see a chance." Do you know what I mean? So yeah, fast and all that comes with the experience of cutting kids' hair. And then it should bring, well, the patience that you get off that, everything else will kind of be a lot easier.
I think with me, I think with the youngsters, because I started so young,
Mhm.
I think you did as well.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I had a lot in common with the kids, so it was easier for me to sort of like,
Yeah.
but yeah, and even now, I don't cut hair so much now. You
Mhm.
still get the odd one still saying, "Oh, can you do my hair?" and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's it.
Definitely where a lot of loyalty comes from the youngsters,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
definitely worth doing. So barbering in general, how important is it for a barber to keep upskilling?
It's a must, really. It's a must because clients want different things all the time. They want different styles, so they want different things. So you have to keep up. What's the new trend? What's that person having? Um, what are footballers having? Because that's what they're usually kids or the teenagers. That's what's seen. That's what they're doing. So evolving is definitely a must because you've got different styles every time. You got different equipment, different technology, as in booking systems. So evolving all of the time. I think you're evolving sometimes without you even knowing that you're evolving, but you are evolving. Do you know what I mean? You've got to be evolving because, like I says, trends never stay the same. So
What do you think is the best way to do that? What's the best way to
evolve.
yeah,
For yourself, if you're not going to do special courses yourself, going out there to do special courses or taking times out to meet other barbers, little barber gatherings and, see what's going on. You've got YouTube now. So it's way easier than it was before. Do you know what I mean? You can say, oh, what's going on? How are they doing that now? Do you know what I mean? Different techniques, all cutting techniques. You used to have to go to specialist places, the capitals and all these little places and go and do a 1-day course. And just like teachers training, they're educating themselves every so often. There's a teachers training day every month in there. So basically saying what you've got to do, whether you're, getting a new shears. And I'm learning now the difference between an 800 RPM shears and like the 4 to 500. The way they cut is totally different. The grades that you have to use, you'd use a 2, you'd probably use a 4 to get that same look. Do you know what I mean? So you have to keep evolving because things are evolving. You can't say, so, well, then you're going to lose clientele anyway because you can't do that style anymore.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? So then the thing about it as well, I believe, is that most styles, if you've gone around, it's just coming back again with a bit of a tweak. So I've done that before. I remember that. Mullets. I think if you went back to my dad's era, that was what that was running. Mustaches, mullets. So I've seen it on TV, see the footballers, you go, oh my gosh, it's just come back around again. So having a variety of styles will definitely keep you up to date with what's going on, keep you value you can value yourself more than, I can do that, I can do that, I can do that. Oh, that's come back again, has it? Can even give them the history. How do you know how long ago that's been about? Do you know what I mean? They're thinking it's new. It's new. Do you know what I mean? So, and I think when you tell them that, they're laughing. You can say, "Look, this is an old school." It depends on what age. The older, elderly or senior, should I say, they stick to their box standards on the trims.
I think one of the things that working with a team of
Mhm,
barbers, working in a shop, I
mhm.
think my experience, so I started off in a team environment with lots of barbers, and then I had a period when I went and helped out in another shop. I was basically on my own, and that was probably 6 months to a year, and in that period, I didn't realise until I went back to a team environment that I'd lost skill in it because I just, and this is before the days of social media videos and YouTube and all that. But I was on my own, so I was just doing my own thing, and I thought what I was doing was good. So working in a team environment and constantly looking at what everybody else is doing,
Definitely.
that brings you on leaps and bounds. And I think one thing that I'd like to, I try and encourage, I mean, you're fairly new with us, but is for people like yourself to work in different shops, because every shop's got a different personality, a different skill set and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
to
yeah.
try and encourage that, I think, is important.
Yeah, definitely working with barbers have helped me. Every barber, even to now, I watch every barber. I've learned that skill off that person. I remember which person I've learned, like razoring. There was a guy, but he was from the Caribbean, but he was hot on the shears, on the blade. And I was like, how do you do it like that? And he showed me, he just said, do this, do this. So, and that was about 20 years into haircutting. And then I started to do a bit more, with the blade working, making it extra sharp. So I just believe that if you don't go around, like I said, I keep saying, going back to Manchester again, everywhere I went, I picked up a new technique, a new style of cutting. So yeah, I think you've got to be around barbers so you can pick that up. Because like you said, you'll think, oh, I'm doing fine. And then you go somewhere and someone's done the same thing half the time and it looks just as good. So you're going, oh, what have I been doing all this time? So yeah, it's definitely something worth making sure that you're around or a lot more barbers, because everyone, like you said, has got their different.
Yeah, I always think it's a shame when you get people who, and there are these people who think they're better than everybody,
Yeah.
and you just think, and just watch, just like, just it can't be, such a shame. I think
Yeah, it is,
when you
yeah.
see that, but there we go.
Okay,
I think that's it.
okay, that's cool.
Thank you ever so much. Really appreciate you coming. One of the nicest people I've ever met. Friend.
Nice one. See ya.